It's the question that could define the PGA Championship as we know it. Where did the rough at Oak Hill come from? The responses captured the story of one day at golf's second major, if only because no two of them are alike. It's not quite like a US Open, said Patrick Rogers, who took to greenside chipping practice Monday afternoon from the deepest stuff he could find on the practice range. No, it's not that thick, Rogers responded, maybe more like a memorial tournament. Rogers' ball flubbed from the rough and rolled a dozen feet past his target as he finished his sentence. His next shot was better, his ball tumbling gently next to the flag, but the harm had already been done. He groaned as he dropped two more balls into the grass and resumed his job. Clearly, the memorial can be difficult as well. On Monday, a tour around the East Course revealed that Rogers was far from the only victim. Golfers may be spotted hammering their way through the grass with morbid interest during the day's practice rounds. Like an explorer testing a blunt machete, some require 2 or 3 rounds to trust their boldness through the weeds. Sam took the uncommon step of starting a practice session from the rough, but gave up after a total distance of 100 yards traveled by successive cold tops, while almost everyone agreed that the rough at Oak Hill wasn't nearly as high as what's predicted at Los Angeles Country Club for the US Open next month. There was more dispute on how difficult it'll be once play begins this week. It's almost like winged foot, observed Joe Grinder, Max Homa's caddy. It's not as dense, but the grass is different here. The blades have thickened and become strikier. While there is considerable debate about the toughness of Rochester's putting surfaces, winged foot isn't a poor analogy. The greens are similarly postage stamp-sized and surrounded with identical dollops of beautiful green grass, threatening even the most innocuous miss. The fairways are city sidewalk, tiny and dangerously slanted. At both Winged Foot and Oak Hill, the penalty for a near miss is virtually as severe as the penalty for a dramatic miss, where at least one has the benefit of pedestrian traffic trampling some of the dense stuff. The lie might not look that bad, Griner speculated. However, getting the club out is still extremely difficult. It's only Monday, which signifies one of two things depending on your point of view. There are 2 more days to let it grow or 2 days to chop it. In certain aspects, the PGA of America has the benefit of player goodwill that USGA course layouts do not have. That could be enough to get you through the weekend's heavy rain. However, with rain and freezing weather on the way, things could swiftly spiral out of hand. That could jeopardize the PGA of America's course layout hopes, but it could also satisfy Rochester fans who, it turns out, have an opinion in the rough as well. They claim that the thick material has been around for a century. My favorite tournament here was in 1980, a fan with a bucket hat said, smiling. Jack won here at 6 under and the rough must have been 5 inches high. Western New York fans may have traded their folding tables for folding chairs this week, but they haven't surrendered their toughness. The course they want to visit isn't Winged Foot or Murfield Village, but Oak Hill from their childhood. Over the last 8 decades, such rough has given pro golfers 6 major championships worth of difficulties. Nothing would make them happier this weekend than to be ranked 7th. I hope they don't cut it, stated this same fan. It's a lot more fun that way. Those who preferred a predictable and straightforward setup expressed concerns about the unpredictability of the rough. They worried that one bad bounce or an unlucky lie would have disastrous consequences, undermining their chances of contending for the championship. Such players hoped for a balanced and fair playing field that would reward skill and strategy rather than luck. As the championship week arrived, the attention turned to the PGA of America's final decision on the rough. Would they heed the fans' nostalgic yearnings and maintain the thick grass, preserving the historic nature of Oak Hill, or would they succumb to the pressures of playability and opt for a more manageable rough? The anticipation reached its peak with fans, players, and officials eagerly awaiting the unveiling of the course's true character. Ultimately, the mystery of the Oak Hill rough would be unraveled as the championship unfolded. The players would face the challenge head-on, showcasing their talent, resilience, and adaptability. The rough would test their mental fortitude, forcing them to make calculated decisions and execute precise shots. And when the dust settled and the final putt dropped, the legacy of the rough at Oak Hill would be etched in the annals of the PGA Championship history, forever remembered as a defining element of that unforgettable tournament. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you with another interesting video.